Gardner-Webb head coach Trey Lamb, his team is coming off a 41-14 loss at Austin Peay. This week they will host Eastern Kentucky in their final non-conference matchup of the season. Coach, some thoughts on your team, and then we will go to some questions.
Yeah, a little bit banged up right now. Started a true freshman quarterback last week, first career start. I thought he played okay. Obviously had a couple critical errors that cost us some points in the red zone, and then threw a pick six. But overall, he had a really good game. Rushed for 90 yards, threw for 150, gave us a chance. They exposed us a little bit in the secondary, and they deserve to win. They played a better game than we did. They've recruited well. That's a really good opponent, probably the best FCS team we've played, along with Elon, in our early season schedule. So very excited about what we have coming up. We're undefeated at home, get another opportunity to defend our house Saturday night against another playoff team, Eastern Kentucky. There is no rest for the weary here. We love to schedule tough games, and so far we've had a really tough schedule. We all know that. Last year on October 15th, we were 1-5. This year we're 2-4, and we won 6 straight last year. So we've got to find a way offensively, special teams, create some sparks, create some energy. Some good things are going to happen to us. Turnovers, the ball is not bouncing our way. I don't know what it is. A little bit of bad luck in the turnover game. We're not getting a bunch of them, and then we throw 2 interceptions Saturday with a freshman quarterback. So we need to win the turnover margin these next 5 games. I think our schedule lightens up a little bit after this week, hopefully. We can have some more winnable games on the back end, much like last year. We got to keep this group together, get some guys back healthy. Matthew Caldwell is still questionable. He's week to week, our starting quarterback. So we'll go with Jalen King, Geno English, true freshman, and a transfer from Florida State if he can't go. So we'll prepare at that position. I hope to get some guys back this week from injury, and we're looking forward to a blackout Saturday night in front of a home crowd, and we need them to make a difference.
Okay, thank you. Jacob, do you have any questions first?
I do. Coach, just watching the games from afar, even the games that you've won, you've struggled in the second half to compete and then put away some games. What do you attribute that to, or is it just, like you were saying, a little bit of luck that you kind of get worn down there in the second half?
No, I think you're right. Something I've addressed in the staff meeting yesterday and this morning. We've got to make better halftime adjustments. I don't know what it is. Our kids are not coming out with a ton of energy. Maybe we need to change the way we're, our pregame, our halftime routine and how we meet, how we take the field, when we take the field, what the routine looks like on the sideline. We've been decent in fourth quarters. The third quarter is kind of where our point differentials not adding up. Even against Elon, we got a 2-score lead. Robert Morris, we got a 4-score lead. And let those games get back close. Tennessee State, we're leading at the half, and let that game get back close and let them hang around. So totally understand where you're coming from. Even Appalachian State, we take the lead late in the third quarter, and things don't go well for us down the stretch. So I think we have a really good team. I think I'm very encouraged, and I'm very positive about what we've done. There's certainly no panic here, but I completely agree with you, Jacob. I'm a little bit taken aback by our third quarter performances right now, and that's being evaluated, and maybe we'll try some different things this week. And I'm probably playing a little too conservative when we do get the lead with young quarterbacks. Probably I don't trust them as much as I had a senior last year. When we do have a lead, I'm probably protecting it a little bit because I know we got dudes on defense, and we're good on defense, and I probably need to call it a little more aggressively, to be honest with you. I think that's probably the biggest difference.
Coach, obviously played Eastern Kentucky last year, and, everybody knows about that game and that big win in the playoffs. But how much can you take from that game? Because every year is different.
Yeah, I think you can take a lot from that game. I can tell you they're going to be pissed off. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to have a bad taste in their mouth, and once the ball's kicked, all that stuff goes away. But our guys are going to be ready to play. I think we can certainly take some stuff from that game that we did well in all three phases, particularly in the return game on special teams. And then offensively, I think we can do some damage in some of those same areas for sure. But we're getting everybody's best shot this year. We won the league. We won a playoff game. We had a good year. And, last year we were the underdog in every game. And this year we're going to be probably a little more favorites. And the expectations are a little higher. So we've got to be able to answer the bell. Pressure is a privilege. I know a lot of coaches say that, but why would you not want to be the favorite? Why would you not want to be in that position? We got to go hunt, and we can't lose that chip on our shoulder.
Coach, just one more thing for me. You mentioned the good and the bad that you got from your freshman quarterback last week. How do you balance, encouraging with the good things that he did, because he did do some good things, while trying to correct some of the mistakes that he made? How do you strike that balance with a young player?
Yeah, it's hard. You want to cut him loose and let him go win the game, but also you want to rein him back in certain situations. It's hard when you don't have experience and you don't get hit at that position in practice. It's hard to create scenarios. Decision making is at a premium, and you got to be able to process information quickly. And there's half the plays he did a really good job of those three things, and then half the plays he didn't. And that's a freshman. That's what he's going to do. I think the one thing that's good is we proved he could throw the football. He made some really nice throws in the game. He hit open guys. He hit covered guys. He made some back shoulder throws. He was good in critical moments. Obviously missed some guys that were wide open too. But I think defensive coordinators see, okay, this guy's not a wildcat quarterback. He can throw. He's got a very gifted arm. He's got the most talent of anybody I've ever coached. 6'4", 215, and he's got a rocket for an arm, a quick release. It's pretty to watch it come out of his hand. We just got to get him processing information and get him in good calls.
All right, Coach, that's all I need. Thank you so much.
Jim, do you have any questions?
Yeah, dude. Thanks, Jose. Coach, to kind of dovetail on the talk of the quarterback, Eastern Kentucky has struggled on defense. I think they're last in the country in yards given up through the air. Does that change your thinking at all going in about which quarterback is going to get more playing time or handle certain situations at all?
Well, Matt's our starting quarterback. If he's available to go, he's going to go. And he's obviously not as good a runner as Jalen. So the game plan this week is we're kind of putting two plans together, one for Jalen and Gino, one for Matt. And if he's able to go, we'll kind of favor towards probably a little more play action, RPO, drop back pass sort of game. And if he's not, it'll be more QB run game, nakeds, easy throws, pocket movement, sort of deal, screens with Jalen. So kind of building two plans right now as a staff and seeing which we want to go with. But it's, Eastern Kentucky, they played a schedule similar to ours now. They've Cincinnati, Kentucky. We've had two big boys, and they have not had an easy game. And we have not really. I mean, Robert Morris, you could say we were a favorite in, but I mean, their schedule looks a lot like ours. They could easily be, probably 5-1. They could easily be 1-5. They've won some close games. They've lost some close games. So it's football, man. It's college football. Every week you got to be ready to strap it up. Every week you got to get your team playing confidently. Every week you got to get them prepared, and then they got to go make the plays. But I'm impressed with what Coach Wells has done over there in his time.
The other side of the ball, McKinney, just your thoughts on him from the playoff game last year and then coming into this season, what you see on tape from the games that you've watched so far this season.
He's a dude. He's a dude. Like, he's really good. He's anticipates so well. You can't sack him because he knows exactly where to go with the football. We played against Parker when he was a freshman, 2018 or 19, when I was at Tennessee Tech, and he was an average or below average player. But, you take reps and you start taking 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 snaps, and it gets easier. Trust me. I've been in those shoes, and that's what Jalen's going through right now. And hopefully by the time Jalen gets to where he's a sophomore, junior, senior, Matt gets to the time he's a sophomore, junior, senior, those reps have come, and then all of a sudden you become a fantastic football player through repetition. But he's a dude. He's a warrior. He's a fun guy to watch. I like watching him play the position. He knows what's going on. He processes very quickly, and I think he's a next level talent.
And one last thing, you mentioned turnovers just a little bit ago and how they haven't been bouncing your way. What's another intangible that might come into play for this game on Saturday?
Special teams game is going to be big. Return game, if we can win the return game and out-return them. We scored a lot of points last year in the playoffs, but we had great field position all night long because of our kick return and punt return units, and we created some turnovers. So we need to get some short fields, whether it be in the turnover game or the return game. We need to give our young quarterback some help. I think rush yards are going to be big. I hope we outrush them. It's a goal of mine this week. And if we do those things, return game, turnovers, and outrush these guys, I think we have a good shot.
Coach, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have any other questions for Coach? Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your time this morning. Good luck to you this week.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate it.